Well, welcome. I've been here enough times now to recognize people. So it's good to see you. Thanks for coming out today. I want to talk about AI, artificial intelligence. And if you've paid any attention to the news lately, suddenly they decided that China has stolen our technology on artificial intelligence, and they've developed a better, faster, cheaper, more wonderful piece of technology. So now all the big technology guys were invited to the White House to come up with a strategy. How are we going to counter the Chinese developments in artificial intelligence? So it's something that, as I say here, artificial intelligence is here today. It's here. I used artificial intelligence to make this PowerPoint. So, it's here, it's working. There's some wonderful parts of it we'll take a look at here. Okay, it's coming. Are you guys ready for artificial intelligence? My opinion is artificial intelligence is going to be a bigger leap in technology in our lives than the cell phone was or the computer was. It's going to do everything. I have Alexa in my house, and I went out and stayed out to every item the other day with a relative, and I couldn't ask. I'm so used to saying, Alexa, how do you spell that? Alexa, who's playing in the Super Bowl? Alexa, what's going on? And I got all the information I need because I got one in every room in my house. So I'm used to technology. It's here. I like it. If you take it away from me, I don't like it because I'm getting used to it. I have one right on my desk when I'm doing one of these PowerPoints. I'm a terrible speller. So I just say, Alexa, how do you spell that? Or Alexa, give me a synonym for that word because I don't like that word. I need another word. And boy, it's like a thesaurus, it's your voice command. So I like it. I think it's great, but it's, got some downsides. This show was prepared with AI. And I use ChatGPT. That's one of the many ones. It's good. Google's one. Everybody's got one now. There's a million of them out there. ChatGPT is one of the first ones. Yes, sir. All of them have that now. Google's got one. No, chat would type it in there. Unless you have another model app I don't have. I have to type that in. So I'm now using a lot of other ones because this one you have to type in. The other ones you just speak to. So anyway, and some of them will answer back to you in voice. All right. AI is going to change your life. Is AI going to benefit our lives? What are the dangers? And we're going to talk about what are the implications for fraud. Fraud is a big deal against seniors. All of you are targets. You live in Florida. Seniors in Florida are one of the biggest targets in the country. If you look at the FCC statistics, everybody that lives in Florida as a senior got a target pinned on their back. So you look around the back and you got a bullseye. He's got a bullseye on his back. Because we are seniors, generally we have some funds, and we are kind, caring, accepting people, that we don't automatically think someone's trying to scam me or mess with me. So, and I do a lot of fraud presentations, lots and lots of fraud presentations. And this one's a little bit about fraud, a little bit about AI too. So anyway, AI is going to unlock human development. It's going to be a great thing for lots of reasons, and I'll talk about that. Are robots taking over our future? You hear a lot about that. Oh, robots can be doing everything, and robots are going to take over the world. Well, maybe, I don't know. Long it's ways in the distance, but they certainly are going to make a big difference. How will you interact? That's a question for how will you interact with AI. It's going to impact your lives whether you know it or not. There's all kinds of things happening with AI. Things like doctors. Doctors are now able to use AI to plug in symptoms of a patient and get a very detailed research about any particular ailment that person has. So there are some medical benefits, and I'll talk more about that in just a minute here. Okay, let's look at some developments in AI and then talk about fraud. We're going to talk about AI-defined positives, downsides, and then fraud towards the end of this presentation. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a tutorial, if you will, a little bit of work about what AI is, all right? So we got kind of a common ground, what it is. Artificial intelligence, you can't read that from back there. It's in the dark, I'll read it to you. AI is technology that enables computers to perform advanced functions, including ability to see, understand, and translate spoken word and written language, analyze that data, and make recommendations. By the way, I got this definition from ChatGPT. I said, what is AI? And I just copied it on the page. That's AI's definition of AI. But basically, it requires large amounts of computers and large amounts of electricity. And they're saying that AI is going to be a power vacuum for electricity, and maybe our electric grids won't be able to support AI as it develops into a major force in our lives. But we'll see. Okay. Positives of AI: education, global connectivity. I'm going to go through these: healthcare, scientific developments, and security. I'm going to cover all these. These are things that AI can do. Advanced education, personalized learning experience, adjust to student needs, overcome learning disabilities, and improve educational outcomes. Let me give you an example. You can take a student with AI and you give them a concept, and they give them a little quiz on it, or a little problem on it. They solve it, moves on to the next one. AI says, hey, they got that one. Move up to a higher level. Give them another one. Hey, they got that one. Or, well, the student didn't quite get that, so we're going to go back and review it and then give them another little problem to solve. It continues to do that until that person then achieves a stepped gradation of higher level. It's a great tool for, I was an educator. My second career was an educator. First career was in the military, 26 years. And my second career was an educator. And gosh, I wish I would have had some of these things to help some of the kids that I taught. And I was a college professor at State College of Florida for 11 years. I wish I had some of these teaching techniques to help some of the students. For instance, I taught business classes. Accounting is something that is kind of not real exciting. I like it, but not real exciting for people who don't really want to take it. But these kinds of activities where you have to pass a little hurdle to get to the next level would have been a great learning aid for the students that were having some trouble and struggling really good with the courses. So in education, from a retired educator, this is great news, because you're going to be able to take students with learning disabilities, for instance, and focus on the things they can't get and bring them up to the level that you want them to achieve. Global connectivity. All around the world, you can pick up your cell phone and call anybody in the world nowadays. When I was in the military, sometimes I lived overseas and it was really expensive to call home to my family. Sometimes I go for a couple of years and not talking to them until I came back to the States. Nowadays, pick up a cell phone for free. You can get anybody in the world you want to, so literally. But the ability for one group of people to connect with another group through AI is astronomical. It's going to be a huge jump because it's all done electronically and bang, it'll go out. It'll break down language barriers. I'll show you in the presentation, you can convert from something from one English into any language you want in virtually 2 seconds. And I'll show you a little example of that. It will foster global interaction. What do I mean there? If people in one area of the country, one area of the world, may not have an open window to other things in the world, AI will allow them to see, absorb cultures, education, knowledge, and help create understanding of the world. Wouldn't that be a nice idea? Maybe we won't have groups that hate each other so much. So anyway, foster a global interaction. Healthcare. Early and more accurate diagnosis. Put the patient's symptoms into a computer. I'm sure it'll be a program if it's not already. Type it in there, and it's going to give you a well thought out, researched diagnosis. Personalized treatment plans. The doctor says, what's the treatment plan for this? Boom, it prints it out. Either you can get it printed or sent digitally to that person. They can put on the phone what they're supposed to do. What did the doctor say? I don't remember what the doctor said. Books right there in my phone or in my computer on my tablet. What the doctor said. Robotic surgery. I had robotic surgery on my knee last summer, and it's good. There wasn't much downtime. Discovery new drugs, just the fact that its ability to take research here and research here all around the world and apply them and put them into one program and enhance research for new drugs. So all these things are good now. Scientific research, process vast amounts of data. You can take studies from all around the world, combine them together and make one analysis. It's a great way of doing it. Accelerate discovery, unlock new fields of research, connect research projects. Somebody in Germany can be working on a research project, and they can get their paperwork or their ideas translated immediately into English by AI and sent off to Columbia University or University of Florida or something like that. So it's going to allow researchers in different groups to interact instantaneously without any language barrier, which is going to be a great thing. Okay, advanced security. It's going to be able to detect threats to various entities, like hackers hacking into a hospital. You've heard about that, right? They hope they want money. If they demand ransom, we're not going to let you back into your hospital records. AI will have the ability to adjust and maneuver and change things to fight off those attacks. Protection against cyber attacks and wider protection for all of us. Potential dangers, existential threat, job displacement. I'm going to cover each of these. Loss of privacy, weapons of war. That's a really scary one to me. Security and fraud. I'm going to go down these as we go through this. Existential threat. What does that mean? Development of super intelligent systems that the goal of the system may not have any humanity. That's what they say, that they're going to be developed. These computers that take over the world, right? That's the existential threat. Rogue agents and chaos. People that are using AI for nefarious means, like maybe the Chinese and the Russians and other groups, are able to do things and fool and trick people and cause chaos, disinformation, and fraud. I'll talk about that in just a minute. So, okay, job displacement. Are things going to robots? Yes. Robots can do the job in many things better than a person. And you can see as a factory, it's all robotic. And it's here today in our world. A lot of car things now are automobile manufacturing. Those things are made by robots. Because you don't have to pay them. You can make them work 24 hours a day. They don't get health care and retirement. You just use them when they're out to get a new one. Okay, so that's one of the things that the unions are very worried about that. Remember we had that longshoreman strike on the East Coast not long ago? The demands of the unions, one of them was higher pay, of course. The other one was you cannot bring robotics into our port. Whereas the European ports are almost all robotic, all done by machines. The ones in the United States have a person doing the job, and they don't want that person to do their job. So there you go. Loss of privacy. AI's ability to dig into your life and come up with all kinds of stuff. Erosion of freedoms and government dominance. It's the government is watching everything you do. So they're going to be able to gather huge amounts of data about you from various sources using AI and know exactly what it is in your life. Now, if you go to, say, Amazon, and you start looking at, let's just say you look at ant poison, okay? You start clicking on ant poison. They know you're doing ant poison. They're going to give you a bunch more of those. And the next time you come on Amazon, they're going to give you one of those little clickies that says, we know you looked at ant poison last time. You want to see some more this time? They track you. They follow you. Same thing on Facebook and X and everything else. The things you click on are recorded, and they're going to give you more input of that subject that you clicked on, because they are watching you. They are making money off you to know what trends of shopping and spending you have. So it's a big deal, and that's part of the threat of AI, because they're going to be able to get so much information. This one is scary. Autonomous weapons of war. There's no morality in the person that's a robot. You got a person that's operating some kind of weapon. You would hope they have some morality and humanness, right? Robots don't have that. if you happen, I'm a retired military guy. I was a bomber pilot. Now we have bombers with no pilots in them, right? We all said back in the day, they'll never have a bomber with no pilot. Wrong. We have bombers with no pilots today in our world. If you pay attention to what's going on in Ukraine, a lot of the war is being fought with drones. They fly a little drone over there and blow up one of their tanks. The Russians have lost something like 18,000 vehicles because the Ukrainians are using drones, little small drones to bomb them. And it's a different kind of war. So there's something else that's different. Robots are inexpensive. And the problem I see, if you are the commander-in-chief of a country, doesn't matter, I'm not mentioning any names, we're not talking about politics, but if you're going to war, you have to send that person's son or daughter off to war. If they come back, and they come back in a casket with a flag over it, that gets attention, right? When you send a robot to war and it gets destroyed, who's going to know? Who's going to care? My point is, from my perspective, the propensity of governments to start wars or skirmishes or whatever you want to call them, small wars, is increased because they don't have to answer anybody about sending a little drone out there or a little robot out there. And they got some of these robot dogs and stuff now that can hop and run, and they have machine guns and lasers and all sorts of stuff on them, and shoot grenades. And it's amazing, like this picture here, this robot guy here. That's the wave of the future in the military. Okay. Security threats kind of coming into fraud now. Sophisticated cyber attacks, deep fakes, you'll see some examples in a minute. Malicious tools that are difficult to track, inexpensive scammers with AI gather information about a public area and send out thousands of targeted cyber attacks, robocalls, texts, emails that look real and are targeted to you because they know something about you, and it kind of looks like it's something that comes to you and you might think it is okay to open. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. So there you are. Now we're going to turn to fraud, AI and fraud. Shifting gears, I gave you a little background on what AI is and where it's going. Talking about fraud now. Deepfake scams, social media engineering. What's that mean? False information, disinformation, misinformation, and direct fraud on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, all those things like that. I don't use TikTok, but from what I understand, there are so many young people that are addicted to it. They look at that, and people that are fraudsters can send out false information, and they treat it as the gospel. And that's the sad part about it. They don't have that filter that says, I shouldn't trust this without verification. So they are addicted to their phones, I am too, and their tablets and so forth. So that's a problem that's going to take place. Okay, deepfake scams, convincing video and audio attacks, identity theft and blackmail. Boy, there's a lot of that out there, isn't there? I gave a presentation, national ARP presentation today on freezing your credit. It was very well received. You got something to do with your interest. I had a big crowd with all of our country. Impersonation fraud, and it's going to be very difficult to determine what is true and what is not true, because the scammers, fraudsters, are much better at using AI to make themselves secure and into the thing. So we're going to try and get them. Okay, social engineering. They can analyze all kinds of data. You go into taxes by looking, if you have a big footprint on something, say Facebook, X, or Instagram, and these other things, they can look at that and kind of get a plan about how to attack you. And I'll show you things. So it's going to increase the likelihood of successful fraud using social media. Tectonic content. Fake news articles, focused images in social media, manipulate public opinion, influence elections. Big thing here, a lot about that. Last election, create a divisive side. We got one of those over there. So, all kinds of fake things is not true. One side puts out there, it convinces people some outrageous lie is the truth. Scams will be larger and more accurate and more difficult to determine. They will spread misinformation, disinformation. AI has great capabilities. It can laugh, say, be sarcasm. It can interpret images and the message and it can make video cuts. It's scary. Now for demo, I got a piece of commercial talk. I went to a national thing watching DC at all that before. And this guy gave us great presentation. He talked to what things that happened. I did a lot of fight presentations and I didn't get to be talking to this. And I used that to make a little bit of a show that I did. All right, this is a picture of me on Instagram. It's the only one out there that I know it, right? That's me on Instagram. There's a little bit of my, I made this Instagram because I lied on this. This is not regular because I didn't want to put my life tips into like this and Instagram. So I made it actually not. So you'll see as we go through this software, took this information, it's AI software. This company made it up.
To a place.
Made all kinds of things. All right.
It's glass, but they only do, windows, that kind of thing. A lady gave me a card at the time that does that. I called the guy and gave him all the information, and somebody set up an appointment to come here and do it. Well, somebody's gonna call me.
What the heck is it?
I like to do that both on the field. This was one of the fishing attacks. It says,
I can't.
funding levels of alternative research are misdirected towards systematic treatment rather than preventing another quick here. It works. We got that. Lots of that Instagram picture in my room. We got that information and major fake things. And again, we want you to click here because we get on to the public. The pilot target is called 50. And it's aimed at these exactly information. When I open it up, I look at it and say, gee, it's got notes on all kinds of things. Being educated, it's trying to convince me some side one or the other. I put them in the link. Here's another one. This is for a record. Either bottom here to the polling location, something that you consider. Use the text, hold the polling, don't hold the polling. This is the truth. This is not this one here. But these things went out in several states when I think in the West. The shooters that the polls don't go. They send it to people, parties that they don't want to go to vote. Anyway, so the fake news article, it looks real. It says Texas Tribune, this is Texas Tribune, right? It's pretty real. Somebody unsuspecting might think that's true. If you let him, Bob over some the dozens of people today and turned himself dictator. Look, that picture that you saw earlier. Look, a picture of the dictator's suit, right? Okay. So here's a whole story we made up about you. Yeah, look, and it says New York Times. Looks pretty real, doesn't it? Right? Okay. So it says, I see what you need. But he's good at Russian. In 2 seconds, there's the same story. Put it in line one. I didn't come up. I started looking. Bring Urdu and there's a bunch of language. Okay. There's about the dictator in Russia. So you can say that could put this on, I guess, Russian social media and cool people over there thinking I was the dictator of Urbo Bay. It's a country, I just made it become a country. Okay,
This is not my real voice. The voice cloning software found an AARP presentation I did that was on an open platform. The technology is evolving rapidly. Soon, scammers will have a highly persuasive tool. Think about imposters, granny scams, romance scams, bank fraud, and more. Scary. This voice sounds real. Even my wife thinks so.
was that like me? They got that somewhere off an AER speech I did. I don't know where it came from, and went out and found it. I didn't even know my speeches were on the digital airwaves. Somewhere they went and found a speech and cloned my voice. And you can simply type in, I type the words, you can type in whatever you want to say. It mimics my voice. Sounds pretty close. Yeah, sounds pretty close. Now, you all heard of the grain scam, right? You call late at night to the house and say, Granny, I'm in jail. I need money to bail out. Imagine they can make the kid's voice sound just exactly like the kid, right? Okay. Now, take picture. I love this part. You're gonna like this one. This is my picture. It was on an Instagram post, right? It's a very simple picture. Here we are. Here's Bob the criminal, Bob in trial, and Bob in prison. Now, just think of what you can do for disinformation. You can put somebody you don't like and make them a criminal or a child molester or a porn reader or something, right? And that was simply taken from that one picture of my head. It just put them in different places, right? Now that's scary. Okay, that's the yet to come. Here's homeless Bob. Maybe that's what it's gonna look like for years. I don't know. Hope not. And here's Bob the basketball star. No. Get ready for this one now. Get ready. Okay, here we go. Bob the skydiver. What do you think? Bob the bodybuilder. Let's put on the hand. Does that look like me? Raise your hand. No. I'm a little too heavy for that one, right? Scary. You can put anything you want in there, and it'll make a picture when you're doing it. Looks real, doesn't it? You know, I've never jumped out of an airplane in my life. You know, well, I military, I never jumped out of one. So pretty scary. You can have all kinds of fraud. And let's wrap up for today. AI has a lot of positive sides. There's a lot of good things about it. Right? It has great potential. It's going to affect your life in ways you probably don't see today, but it will. I use it all the time. I'm kind of addicted to it. Use it for everything. And it has, in the hands of criminals, scammers, has a great potential for harm. And you're going to have to be, as a person living in the world, be very wary of frauds and scams. It's going to be very difficult to pick what is real and what's not real in the future. You're going to get the scammers are getting so good now, you will be easily fooled, and you have to put your defenses up to a higher level to say, I'm not going to click on that and open it. I'm not going to answer that phone. I'm not going to answer that email. It says my bank account's in trouble. I'm not going to call that number. It's up to you to be more vigilant, to watch out for fraud. So AI will change your world as it's here today. And how are you going to deal with it? That's you. Thank you. Any questions? I'll take a couple questions here. Yes, sir.
They issued you a parachute when you were five.
Sure, but I didn't jump out of the plane with it. Well, they gave you basic training in it, yeah. I never parachute jumped, but it said, we got training how to fall on the ground and practice unhooking yourself and, so forth. But I never got jump training, like in the Army, they, airborne, they jump out. Yeah. Never jump out of a good airplane with my life. That's the pilot's motto. Never jump out of a good airplane. Yes, sir. Thanks for the question. Anybody else? Yes, sir. Yes. AI is created by humans, this question. Yes. What nice lady here is talking about when they get a phone call that says, talking about your healthcare, and you've got that kind of healthcare. You have to be very wary that don't answer that and talk to anybody. Pick up the telephone and call the company somewhere in your records in your card, got a telephone number, call the company, don't accept it. Remember, if they initiated the call, your defenses should be up. If you didn't call them, don't answer any questions, don't give your social security number, your Medicare card, your healthcare card. Hang up and call the company directly using the number that you know is the right number. Don't accept any calls to you. Again, the question is who initiated the call? If I call them, I'm calling my doctor's office. I'm going to get the doctor's office. I can talk about my Medicare number and such. Someone calls me, do not give any information on the phone. I've come to talk about fraud. This is not about fraud exactly. Don't answer the phone. Don't open the door. Don't open an email and don't open a text if you're not sure it's from. When someone comes to my door, I look out the window, don't know who it is, I don't answer. If they can't talk to you, they can't scam you. I'll bet you twice a week, once a week at least, somebody comes around to my door with some kind of badge on a little flip board that's selling something or scamming something. We're going to fix your roof and give us $50 or $500, and then we'll fix it next week. If they can't talk to you, they can't scam you. So don't answer the door, don't answer the cell. That's against what many of us seniors think of. My mother taught me, you say, hello, this is Bush residence, this is Bob, can I help you, right? Nowadays, just don't answer the phone. Let it go to voicemail. If your doctor's office is important, don't leave a voice message and pick up the phone and not voicemail. Answer it, listen, call them back. All right, anybody else have a question? Yes, ma'am. Thank you. The big scam, the lady's talking about now, the big scam, you got a text. There's a problem with the UPS package coming to your house. Click this to straighten out, or there's a problem with your Amazon account. Click this, we can't deliver the package. Delete it, put it in spam, don't open it, don't touch it. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. Recently, I want to know about Facebook, and I'm on Facebook thinking about getting off of Facebook because someone cloned me on Facebook that speaks French. I have tried to get my Facebook back. Sometimes I can translate it into English, but it comes through my phone, my messages, or on my computer in French. And I have done everything I can get it resolved.
Everybody here was, yeah, go ahead.
Facebook, what are they going to do about this for all of us? Are we just out there because they don't do anything? They haven't done anything to help me yet.
Facebook is, they say they have filters and protection and so forth. I used to be a national teacher for ARP, teaching Facebook and Twitter how to work it, what you do, how to control. I'm scared enough now, I don't use it anymore. I don't use Facebook. I don't put any information on there. The less information I have in the public arena, the better off I am. I don't use it. I'm not saying you can't. You can't. When it used to be when you try to cancel your account, you had to keep it for 30 days or 45 days, so they wouldn't even cancel it immediately. I don't use it. Just let it go away. And you can go into your profile and change all the stuff, like your birthday, where you went to school, change it all around so people cannot use it to scam you. Yeah. Make it incorrect. You know, you get the profile, you click on the little picture up there that drops down to this profile. Go and change all the data to make it bogus. Have nothing true in there.
Okay.
If you want to use it, that cuts down there those who say, if you got your birthday, what do they usually call you when at the doctor's office? Give them your name, your birthday, right? Remember, if somebody's got your birthday, that's one step to scamming you. So change it all and make it all right. I never give anybody my birthday. I make up a bogus birthday. What's your birthday? I give them something close. Yes, sir. Law enforcement. Law enforcement is probably pretty far behind in doing any sort of activity. I know law enforcement, and I'll say this because my son is in law enforcement. They have trouble just investigating the simplest of scams. So they are not into the AI generation. Well, most law enforcement, I pretty much guarantee Nancy County's not. I'm not speaking against them. They are just don't have the capability to get everybody trained in advanced in technology and software to combat fraud. They aren't there. They aren't there for you yet. It's up to you to put that filter up, that wall up that says, I have to be wary of things. I mean, can't do it. And, you know, I'm not telling you about Facebook. My thing is go off. But I don't use it. I'm gonna do it.
Caused me a lot of trouble.
Then quit. I mean,
One other thing, Carl and I recently got, we have a Bank of America Allegiant card.
yeah.
An Allegiant card to Bank of America. We get this phone call out of the blue that says, we have a $1,300 bill from Wayfair on our account. And we said, then they wanted to connect Carl to someone who would help him with that problem. He hung up. I called the Bank of America Allegiant card, and the woman says to me, there's absolutely nothing on your account. And I went ahead and I changed the credit card anyway.
Did you?
You
Fine, that's great.
I was so,
It's a trick.
Yeah.
Did you catch what she said? Call out of the blue. Ding, 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 ding. That, ignore it, put it away. If you get wrapped up about it and scared, call the real people. Do not go down the track that someone tells you on the email, voicemail, and email. Stop. You said the magic word, out of the blue. Remember I said that. If you did not initiate the call, chances are it's a scam in today's world. And they will be even more sophisticated and be able to put a lot of more data about you and convince you that they are the person at the bank. The key, if you didn't initiate the call, don't do anything, hang up and call the bank.
one point I want to make is I noticed in some places where they sell credit cards, they have put a sign up now that says, why are you buying this credit card? Are you sending it?
You mean gift card, gift card, yeah.
Because
Well, you led into my next presentation, which is cryptocurrency, which is the new scammer method of choice. You don't have to buy a gift card. I Googled the other day how many ATMs for cryptocurrency in Manatee County. There's at least a dozen. They're all around town. You can go into the gas station and feed your money into the machine and get cryptocurrency, and there's account numbers, and it goes to somebody, and there is no track of it. They cannot tell whose account it goes in. It's all masked. Cryptocurrency is the new fraud, wonderful frontier. And I have enough presentation. Even better than this. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and all. There's all kinds of ones. And I think Elon Musk is going to come out with a new one here. Anyway, but you know, she's highlight what she said. Yeah.
You know, there's going to be teaching or are teaching that to students AI.
Teaching one, I think they can't hear.
Teaching AI in school.
I don't know that much about it. I know that I teach for OLLI, which is Ocean Lifetime Learning Institute down at Ringling College. And they have a guy there from Ringling College that teaches AI, but I'm not sure whether he teaches, it's an art school, so I'm not sure he's teaching AI as a threat and a tool, but as a development for art. So I don't know. But I'm going to give this presentation probably for OLLI coming up here in the future, because people need to know about the threat from AI. I don't think he's teaching it. But to be honest with you, beyond that, I don't know. I would say that it's like a wave. AI is way out ahead of society. And it's going to take a while to catch up law enforcement and colleges and education for the public. But you're getting free education right now, right? Do you have a question?
Well, yes.
No.
How do teachers know when a kid writes,
Lovely question. You can now I could go to AI and tell it to write me an essay about this, and it's going to print it out of the whole thing with good grammar, well researched, well done. The answer to that question, in the old days, the teachers used to be able to put a software program in that to tell it was copied from a known publication, not when AI is making it up. To me, I think that the teacher is going to have to find some other way of grading a student rather than a published paper. Like, I don't know how it's gonna work, you know, I'm not sure. That's a question I thought about. Because they're so far ahead on that, that they're not gonna be able to tell what's real work and what is from AI. And that, then it got to the point where students, before AI, students were just going to Google, Googling something, cutting up, pasting it into their document. And that was the paper, you know, that was the paper. It's a tough question. I think professors are going to have to come up with other ways. Actually sitting in person in a room with paper, pens, and make them write something. I don't know. I'm not in the education world, and I haven't tracked that, but it's a scary thing for teachers who have to grade on it, you know. It's, now, yeah, I used to teach accounting, a lot of business classes like that in history too. So I didn't have paper, it was just basically, here's the problem, solve it, what's the bottom line, there's a balance, you know, counting, so. Okay, good question, Justin.
Has anyone here got a phone call from Crumble? From myself.
Frumble?
Crumble is a bakery looking thing.
Oh, no, I don't know.
I got one yesterday from New York. It's a 315 area code. So I answered it because my granddaughter.
Ding, 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 if they call you, don't answer the phone. Ding, 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 ding. I'm sorry.
And I thought a minute, did I not put an in right that it didn't recognize the 315 number? So I answered it, and the voice sounded just like Emma J. And they're trying to tell me a thing I can order. I said, I live in Florida. You're in Syracuse. No, thank you. And I said, Emma, what is it? And I don't know Emma, but she sounds like her. Is anyone that phone call? And so I called Emma, and she said they do call people. Oh, they called me. Oh, I forgot the word was for customer meeting. I'm there. That's what it is for. Premier Supreme customer something, and Emma knows the people that get called all the time.
I'll say it again. If you don't know who it is, don't answer your phone, and if they can't talk to you, they can't scam you. If it was important enough from the top, they would have left you a voicemail and you'd have called them back up. And don't always trust the voicemail, but that's the company that you really want to, a criminal can leave a voicemail and you can call them back too. Then, let me say again, don't answer your phone, don't open your emails, don't click on a text, and don't open your front door unless you know who it is. If they can't talk to you, they can't scam you. I mean, talking by interchange of, right. They can't scam you. They want to get you to either type in something, talk, or do something, push a button. So if you don't do those things, you can't get scammed. Yes, sir.
I did, but I had never done this before. The gentleman up there asked about law enforcement,
Mhm.
how they doing. I got a text the other day that said my Massachusetts toll,
The toll,
EMS thing-
the toll one, that's another big one. Yeah, the toll one.
And it gave me a link, so I stopped and I went out to Google. The first part of the link was easydrivema.com, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I Googled easydrive.com, easydrivemass.com. It came up with the Massachusetts website, and right across was the banner. There's no scam, don't answer text. I went down in it, and it gave me the link to the FBI website. And the FBI website walked me through the steps to report the scam to the FBI, whether they do anything or not.
They have millions of those, so
Yeah.
that is another one, the old toll one. A relative that's here in Florida got the toll one the other day, so don't believe it. You know, you didn't initiate the call. The toll companies normally will send you a letter. They're not gonna send you a phone call or a text, so. I'm gonna quit now and I'll stay and talk. We've got some questions, but it's a pleasure to talk to you. Go out and be safe. Don't answer your phone. Don't open your mail. Don't open your door. They can't talk to you. They can't scam you. So thanks for your attention, folks.